Hello YouTube, my name is Mikey Piku. This is going to be my first video. I'm going to be going on a journey where I'm going to be trialing myself and trying to increase and improve my conscientiousness. Admittedly, I just forgot the word right there. So, I was just watching some Jordan Peterson earlier today. He was talking about conscientiousness, and I believe that's something that I've been very drastically lacking, something that I really need to work on. So I'm going to be doing that for the next 3 to 6 months. I'm going to be doing it for 3 months, evaluate how things are, and possibly restructure my plan for the next 3 months if it's not optimal. But I'm going to be doing some revisions of the plan in the next continuous duration of time, honestly, but most of it in the next like 3 days. So I'm going to be improving my sleep schedule, waking up earlier in the morning, going to sleep earlier at night, and the method of which I'm going to be doing so, I'm going to be using some melatonin as per suggestion of Matthew Walker whenever he's trying to recalibrate his circadian rhythm. So I'm going to drop some of that around perhaps 8 p.m., go to bed. Well, in addition, I'm also going to be using some Youth Theory sleep aid powder, which is going to further help things. I'm going to use that and wake up earlier in the morning, maybe about, say, 6:45 today. I'm going to be thinking on this more. Might dial it back even earlier, or might keep it there, possibly go up to 7, but currently I'm just going to stick to 6:45. My income has not been the best in my entire lifespan. It currently rests around perhaps $10,000 a year. I'm a 21-year-old college student. So, yeah. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to be working on my income, working on my own personal trading business, something that I've been very passionate about for the last 2 years, but I've not been able to fully go through with. I've currently only have been teaching 2 bootcamp classes a week for $15 an hour, and I've only had 2 personal training clients that have paid me in the last 1.5 years. And I taught them both at the same time. So it's something I've been drastically slacking on, getting stuck in paralysis by analysis. So I'm gonna be working on that too. So I'm going to read more books. I have 16 books right here, which I plan to get done within the next 6 months. Art of Seduction by Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, Persuasion by Robert B. Cialdini, Influence by Robert B. Cialdini, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky, Deep Work, Carl Newport, Book of Five Rings, Miyamoto Musashi, Paradise Lost, John Milton, The Will of Power by Friedrich Nietzsche, Thus Spoke Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche, War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, Leadership Strategies and Tactics by Jocko Willink, Behave by Robert Sapolsky, 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson, and The 10 Times Rule by Grant Cardone. I have been essentially collecting books, almost hoarding them in a way, for the last 2 years, because I really want to get into reading, but I've never been able to properly execute myself and get in there. I've definitely read books in the last 2 years, but the ratio of which they're just resting on my shelf versus being used is pretty pathetic. The reason I've picked 16 books in the next 6 months, which seems to some people like overkill, is because of Grant Cardone's 10 times rule. He suggests that you should aim 10 times higher than what you passively would shoot for, and that's going to push you even further and really assist at getting successful in the field that you're trying to work in, be it getting income or getting a skill. I don't know if he really talks about getting a skill, but I'm gonna be doing that personally. My workout plan is gonna be 30 minutes cardio, 4 to 7 days a week. I never really do cardio anymore. I'm going to be doing at least 20 minutes of daily breathing meditation of various types. Holotropic, Wim Hof, just deep inhales through the nose, exhales through the mouth. It's going to help me get into a more zened out state, recalibrate, and even hop into the day if I do it in the morning. I'm going to be doing steam room or sauna at least twice a week for the various health benefits, along with, for the various health benefits, it's going to be very, very healthy. And overall, something I would very much appreciate if I keep it up in my later years. I'm going to be doing schoolwork in the morning, tackling that, getting it out of the way as early as I can manage. And a big reason for that is because, given my lack of conscientiousness, I sometimes procrastinate drastically. And I get to maybe like 3 hours before midnight and then start cramming for the assignment that I need to do and get it done right before midnight. And that's been a very continuous thing throughout my pretty much entire childhood and so far adult life. I'm going to be further developing my personal training business by getting an EIN, working on my social media, personal training. It's going to be Olympic Personals to the name. I'm going to pursue getting more clients, but most of all, initially, I'm going to be pursuing teaching more classes. Not just boot camp. I want to get into circus conditioning because I'm actually involved somewhat in the circus. And also mobility or balance. Me and one of the co-owners of the gym that I go to have been talking about me teaching some extra classes, and if that falls through, I will mention what they are. My YouTube videos, their production value is going to increase over time. This is just a starting point, videotaping on my phone, which is currently on a tripod. And I'm going to start using a Panasonic Lumix G7, which I currently possess from a previous photography class which I took at college. My room is typically a mess, so I'm going to make sure that's cleaned more often, all the time, actually. I'm going to optimize my workspace for best work and mindset. I'm going to be using information which Andrew Huberman from the Huberman podcast and provides. He currently teaches neuroscience and ophthalmology over at Stanford, so he's a pretty credible source. Highly recommend watching his podcast, Huberman Lab. I've been on and off of self-improvement for the last maybe 5 years, very much more consistently in the early years compared to the present. And I don't make much money, as I said before, so I'm going to be trying to make much more and up my income dramatically in the next 3 to 6 weeks, 3 to 6 months. And that will be done through teaching more classes, hopefully selling something eventually. And I'm also going to be working on a blog site I have. I'm going to be using whatever nootropic leverage which I deem safe and acceptable. And that's going to be Gorilla Mind Smooth, 2 to 4 capsules, 1 dose, 1 to 2 times a day, maxing at 6 capsules a day. Gorilla Mind Shroom, 2 to 3 capsules, 1 to 2 times a day. And I'm also going to be using quick release Adderall, 1 to 2 times a day, something that I'm prescribed due to ADHD. That is going to be 7.5 milligrams or 5 milligrams initially. And then later in the day, 7.5 or 5. I'm going to reduce blue light exposure later in the day so I can get to sleep easier. I'm going to walk at least one time around my block every single day. And I'm going to get a calendar and create a daily planner with a proper structure to everything so I can stay on track and not need to expend as much mental energy trying to recall what I've decided to do. So I'm going to be getting a dry erase planner. I'm going to be ordering that off of Amazon today. Thank you, Mr. Bezos. I'm going to be writing more, both with my hands, like on paper, and typing. And that is per suggestion of Jordan Peterson. He said that writing is one of the best ways that you can think. So doing so will help me not only be able to properly convey myself with words, improve my communication skills, but it's also going to help me think of different things better in a journaling-like context. So today, I'm going to complete my schoolwork earlier, before 6 p.m. I'm going to walk around the block during sunset so I can get that transition mode in there for going to sleep. I'm going to clean my room. I'm going to listen to Audible while doing that, one of the 16 books I've mentioned before. I'm going to be doing 20 minutes breathing, order that dry erase calendar, compose a circuits conditioning class, compose a bootcamp class for Monday and Wednesday, which are both the days which I normally teach bootcamp, and I have suffered from doing such a thing at the last minute, but composing the program for those days. It's always worked out, but definitely want to up the quality of those. And I'm going to stay hydrated. So yes, thank you for joining me on this journey. If anyone has any suggestions of what else I can add, what I can adjust, that would be absolutely fantastic. And I'm doing so much things all at once because per Grant Cardone's suggestion of the 10 times rule, you should expect more of yourself than you initially might. Which some people will completely disagree with, and that people say that your eyes are bigger than your stomach type of statements, where you believe that you can do many more things. But I think that doing many different changes all at once is also going to help me recalibrate into an entirely different mindset and mode of being. And instead of doing like one alteration, which I don't treat possibly as seriously, I could treat it more seriously, but I think like doing everything at once is going to help me better align as an individual in this new state of being. And that is actually pure suggestion of Leo from Leo and Longevity, a YouTube channel which I'm a fan of and highly suggest watching his content. He is a very intelligent man, as far as I can tell. He links his resources too. So if he does do a video about something, he will give a source list at the bottom in the description. A lot of the time. Yeah. Or at least in times when it seems like it matters, as far as I've seen. And that is going to be the plan. I'm going to also submerge myself in the fire and talk to more individuals, baptism by fire type of deal, because I think that communication is one of the things I've been lacking on, and if I can improve that, I can increase charisma and get more connections, which is overall going to be a more fun experience than not having them, and it's going to overall help me in various ways. And all the things that I'm going to be doing, or at least in the context of personal training, I'm going to be thinking more about it, not for the pure purpose of self-fulfillment financially, which is something that I've struggled with. Whenever I think about it like financially, it gives me more anxiety. it gets me thinking, okay, I'm doing this for income, and I have to really pay attention to how I am right now because I need to impress these people. And that's not how you should think about it at all. That's really not. The way you should be thinking about work, which is purposed for benefiting someone else, is you should be thinking about it as a work that's purposed for benefiting someone else. You should properly acknowledge that you're trying to help this person. And that's the thing that's most important in that moment. That's the thing that's most important. You're trying to help people, and you're trying to help thus your community, because each person, which is more satisfied, more fulfilled, reaching their goals more properly, every single person that does that has a little bit of a domino effect. It keeps going. It just betters the world in general if you help them. So I need to think about it that way more. And that's going to be something I'm going to be thinking about. Definitely recalibrating myself for that purpose. I'm also going to be doing Jordan Peterson's self-authoring program, something I've already bought in the past. And that's going to help me a lot. So, thank you so much. This is Micah Piku, owner of Olympic Personal, and take care.